going on? It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys being here today on the show. Today is Thursday. It is February 6th. Alabama football just put out an official release that Ryan Grubb is officially hired. We're going to dive into that this morning. And then today I'm going to be talking about spring football storylines. So what I did was I went through every single position and I just came up with some questions, things that we're watching. So all that and more today on Bama Football on YouTube. Please let me know where you're watching from inside the comment box. I'm always delighted to see where you guys are watching from, where you guys are listening to. If you guys are catching the show on the rewatch, I appreciate you guys' support. Definitely drop a thumbs up on the video. And I hope you're off to an amazing start. I'm feeling good. I'm so grateful. Practice gratitude. And I love being here on the show with you guys every single day, live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Time, and live news as it happens. This is the first time you've been here to the show. What's up? Let me know if you're here for the first time. I'll give you a personal shout out. Super chats, you guys becoming fan funders for only $2.99. I appreciate it all. Ryan Grubb, officially in. All right, this is a photo, a graphic created by the University of Alabama. I'm sure you guys saw it on their social media accounts. It looks good. We finally got him in like an Alabama hat. I think this is like a computer-generated photo. It looks good because all the other photos that we have of him were like in Washington gear or Seattle Seahawks gear. Finally, you're getting Ryan Grubb with the script day. Feels good. And this is one of the things to be optimistic about. Is Ryan Grubb coming here? And really the quote that Coach DeBoer had to say this morning was, Ryan Grubb is one of the best offensive minds in the country. I love that because that's what Alabama needs. That is what this program needs. Last year wasn't the standard. We accept that. But going forward, this is what we wanted from the jump. We wanted Coach DeBoer. We wanted to welcome Coach DeBoer and his philosophy. And we also wanted to welcome Ryan Grubb to this team. Right? So now that all the pieces are in place, let's roll. Let's ride. Let's ride into 2025. Right? Herman, what's up? I see you inside the comment box asking about a news conference. So there's not going to be a necessary news conference where Ryan Grubb speaks to the media yet. But when reporters who are on site at the University of Alabama, when those guys do have an opportunity to talk to Ryan Grubb, I would imagine that it'll start during spring football. They're just not going to have like a welcoming news conference. And if they do, we'll ask Alabama if we could put that on our YouTube channel. But I would imagine that the first time that he actually speaks in front of a camera talking Alabama football would probably be sometime during spring football. I could be wrong, but that's just what I'm thinking. But I don't think there's like any scheduled news conference. Again, I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I'm thinking from the past on how they've done things. Dean, what's up? I see you coming in from Chattanooga. We have someone watching from Southport, NC. Roll Tide Roll. Alex Wilder, what's up? Mary, good morning. Coming to us from Pennsylvania. Travis, what's up, man? Dwight, what's going on? Tay-Tac. Timothy's coming to us from San Diego, California. That's what's up. All right, so here's the quote that Coach DeBoer had to say. I'll go full screen on this so you guys can see it a little bit better. Am I clear? Am I clear to you? Picture me rolling. Do you guys know what that is? All right, Coach DeBoer on Ryan Grubb says, Ryan Grubb has been someone that I have trusted for a long time, and adding him to our staff only improves the quality of coaches we have here at Alabama. He is one of the best offensive minds in the country, and I can't wait to see what he brings to our organization moving forward. Ooh. Something made my ears and eyes perk up. Look. A good picture of Coach DeBoer. Yeah, actually, it looks like there was a lady behind him, so he doesn't have like a rat tail of blonde hair. So one of the things that stands out to me, a couple of things from this particular quote. The first thing that jumps out to me is the fact that he called it an organization. Yo, that's how you have to run a program like this. This isn't a program. This is an organization. That's what Coach Saban used to say. I know we're trying to get away from that, but those are the type of words we want to hear. Organization, right? Org chart. Contract, yeah, it should be signed. We don't know, Jamie, inside the comment box. Good question. Jamie Anderson asking that the contract signed. I would imagine it's signed. We just don't know how much he is making per year. Usually the reporters, are quick to find out that. I would imagine that he's probably making like 2.5 if I had to guess. That's kind of like the going rate. I saw earlier today, Ryan Grubb got a new contract as well. Or, I'm sorry, Ryan Day. A lot of Ryans. Ohio State had to pay him. I mean, the guy won a natty, right? Yeah, Robert, I had to put music on today. So usually I have to cut the music because sometimes you get like these copyright match tools on YouTube. But I want a little bit extra today. So like cut the music. You see what I'm saying? Could be a little bit dry. Could be a little bit slow. But I was feeling good. Look, it's Thursday. I'm feeling good. We got Ryan Grubb. I don't know. I'm feeling optimistic today. So I'm going to roll with the music. The other thing that stands out is he says that he's one of the best offensive minds in the country. And look, I definitely think I want to agree with this. And this is something that I thought about Ryan Grubb, not only because Nick Saban spoke to him in 2023, but because of on-the-field production, what we saw with Washington during 2022 and 2023. Those offenses, and I get it, they had a quarterback that could operate at the highest level. Those offenses, they were catching our eye down here from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So I think that he's right. And when you have a new quarterback and when you have all these weapons, and we're going to talk about every single position today, talking of spring storylines, yeah, you have the pieces in place to be able to not only have somebody that can be one of the best offensive minds in football, but also work with some of the best players in college football, right? And that's exciting because you already know who's coming back on the defensive side. Ton of guys coming back on the defensive side. We're going to talk about the defense too. Ryan Grubb, and if you want to read the full statement, you can go to the University of Alabama. They have a press release talking about Ryan Grubb. It's a full article. It lists all his accomplishments and stuff like that. I grabbed this morning, putting graphics together. But if you want to read the full deal, go to the University of Alabama and read their full press release. Ryan Grubb, this is what he had to say. I'll go back to the full screen. I'm thankful to get an opportunity to work with Coach DeBoer once again and to be part of an offensive staff that I am familiar with, said Grubb. I am confident that our staff will be able to put the team in the best position to win each time out. Love that. I know and trust that this group of coaches and players will work tirelessly to meet the standard. Ooh, I love that. That has been set here at Alabama, and I can't wait to get out on the field with them. That's a hell of a quote, right? Gratitude, showing that he's thankful for the opportunity. I like that. And to be a part of that offensive staff that he's familiar with. He's familiar because Nick Sheridan's still here. Jamarcus Shepard's here, right? We have no idea what's going to happen with Scott Huff, and you're like, who's Scott Huff? Scott Huff was the offensive line coach that worked with Washington back in 2023, 2022. That's kind of like bringing the old gang back together, right? Chuck Morrell, he coached at Washington. He's on the defensive side now, coaching the linebackers. But there's a lot of these guys that were together. So when he comes in, even though they missed a year, you know how it is. If you work with somebody and they might have gone somewhere else, they come back, fits right into place. We don't know what Nick Sheridan is going to do, what his title is going to be. But if you look to Alabama's offense, let's just start there with their offense. You have Ryan Grubb, OC. I would imagine that he's the quarterback's coach as well. We don't know what Nick Sheridan is going to be. Jamarcus Shepard is the wide receivers coach and the co-offensive coordinator. You have Brian Ellis working with the tight ends. You have Chris Kapilovic working with the offensive line. And Robert Gillespie working with the running backs. That's a good staff. Very good staff. Steven, what's up, man? Kim, I see you inside the comment box. My boy, Todd Tipton, what's up, man? Joe Gaston, man, I see you inside the comment box. Good to see you as well, bro. And then I like on the back end how he says meet the standard, because I do feel that Alabama needs to get back to that standard of offense. I felt, and as I pointed out several times, if you watch my show, Alabama hasn't had a 3,000-yard passer, a 1,000-yard running back, and a 1,000-yard wide receiver in 3 seasons. That needs to change. And I really feel that it will change. Robert Hell, good morning to you. I appreciate you being here. And then you see the eagerness to get on the field and start working with these guys, right? And I feel that the Alabama football fan base, I don't speak for everybody, but I get the feeling that it's kind of enough talk. We want to see things put into action. And even springtime, I think that'll provide us a little bit more optimism. But we're ready. Alabama football fans are ready to attack Florida State. Already. Alabama football fans are ready for a game. I got to change the color tempo on here. The sun is changing. There you go. All right. The big thing of sun just came in here. It made me look red. That's why Alabama fans want to see things be put into action. But Ryan Grubb, man, like the photo, like the comments, work tirelessly, and that's what it takes, man. When you work at this level and when you want to achieve greatness, there's no slowing down when you're a college football coach. That's why I think, honestly, sometimes coaching the NFL is easier than coaching college football because there's no slowing down, right? Herman, you're right. Like, people want in February, don't worry, I'll get you through it. It's going to be January is a really long year. February is a little bit shorter, but we'll get you through it. Yeah, Sarah, I didn't you see I look like really red? Okay, so this is Ryan Grubb, officially hired. You can read more at the University of Alabama. What I did today and what I wanted to angle the show on is talk about spring football storylines. So I put these graphics together. They're really just questions and kind of highlighting quarterback, running back, all the way through the special teams, okay? And no, I'm not going to talk about the Milrow quote yesterday, right? Can't turn a zebra into a dog or something like that? About changing position. The guy's going to be a quarterback. Let him be a quarterback, and we wish him the best, right? But we have new quarterbacks to talk about. So spring football storylines starting right now in 3, 2, 1. The quarterbacks and the storylines that I want to focus on when you're talking about the quarterback position for the University of Alabama, I would imagine that Ty Simpson starts off as the starter. And don't be like shocked and be like, oh my goodness, Coach Kalen DeBoer has made a decision. I think the right thing to do at this point in time, not because of loyalty, not because of anything else, just because Ty Simpson has the most experience. He's been here, and this is it. He's ready to earn that starting spot based off the fact that he has experience. He's been here, right? And so those are some of the things that I'm looking for with Ty Simpson. And I can't wait to see him just really work the first team offense. Everybody knows that he has the athleticism. He has a really live arm. How is he going to do in deep ball situations? That was one of the things that we didn't necessarily get to see from Ty Simpson just because of the down and distance opportunities that Ty Simpson got. But I don't think there's anyone that has an idea about his arm strength other than the players and the coaches, but we really haven't seen it. But I would imagine that he's the quarterback that is getting first team reps, and rightfully so because he's the guy that's here. And people are excited about his ability. And if he can't operate the offense, then I would imagine that Ryan Grubb, Kalen DeBoer make the changes to give one of these other two quarterbacks an opportunity. This will be year 2 of Austin Mack. Why are we excited about Austin Mack? Well, several different reasons. Austin Mack, he has really good size, which is intriguing to us, right? He's like 6'7". From the short film that I've seen on him, he looks pretty good. I don't know how he can move around. I really haven't seen film of him like kind of running around. But he's a guy that Ryan Grubb recruited. He's a guy that Kalen DeBoer brought in. And then with Keelan Russell, just the first look at him, people are going to go crazy. I think he'll probably be one of the most anticipated freshmen that we've had here in quite some time. Quarterback, everybody's looking at the quarterbacks all the time. But when you got a guy of this caliber coming in, this highly rated coming in, any type of footage that you have of Keelan Russell is going to be magnified. All cameras are going to be on him. Every single throw is going to be under the microscope. And I think he's ready for it. So, look, I would imagine that we get more into quarterback competition after spring from what we've seen in spring, even into August. And I guess, like, at what point does Kalen DeBoer name an official starter? I just hope he names a starter and we don't go to this, trying to cycle in quarterbacks to get the offense moving. I just like you to stick with one quarterback, and if that guy isn't doing the job, then you take him out and you name the other guy the starter. I didn't like the whole cake bake-off deal. But I'm really excited about Ty Simpson. I really am. I like the kid. I like guys who don't play the entitled card. I like guys who, I don't know. I just like his personality. I'm excited about him. I hope things will work out for him. And if they don't, I think he'll be man enough to understand that you got to play the best at the position, and that's it, period. I mean, he should know that. I mean, his dad's a coach, period, plain and simple. But I think he does have the ability to be able to have a very successful season with all the weapons that we're about to talk about. Moving on to the running back room. What's your biggest question mark with these running backs? I guess I should have asked that about the quarterback. But some of those storylines with the quarterback is too easy. But, like, if we're talking storylines here, post a question that you have about the running back. Here are a couple things that I came up with. This is a very, very healthy running back room. It's a very talented running back room. There's a lot of mouths to feed. One of my question marks is Ryan Grubb going to be able to feed these guys, because we look to last season where he didn't necessarily run the ball. And I guess if you talk to Seahawks fans, he didn't want to run the football, but then there's some that say that he didn't have the components to run the football. Ooh, Ken is saying that, I think it was Ken inside the comment box. What's up, Ken? Is saying that, oh, yeah, there it is. Ty is a bigger version of Johnny Manziel. Wow. A lot of people forget that Ty Simpson can move around really well. Darren Jenkins inside the comment box saying it's a heavy running back room. 100%. And I like the fact that we've added on some size, right? I don't have his name listed here. I don't have 3 running backs listed here. But you have Daniel Hill, who looks absolutely shredded. You have Kevin Riley, and then you have A.K. Deere, right? And that we'll get a first look at him at some point this year or this spring. But I think Traylon Washington, if I'm not mistaken, is like 220 pounds, and he's like 5'9". Kaysen with the super chat. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Everyone wanted Bryce to start over Mac, and look what Mac did for us. That's 100% true. That season was crazy. I like to think of that as the best Alabama football team under Coach Saban. 2020. And we can't forget, too, that Ty Simpson was a 5-star. I think sometimes people think he's a 4-star, but he was a 5-star. But back to this running back room. I mean, Jam Miller returns. What don't you like about that? One of my biggest questions. So what is your question about the running backs? If you had to, ask a question about the running backs, or like what's on your mind? Something that's really on my mind is like Richard Young. I'm kind of like, I've been really hyping up Richard Young. I feel he's got it. I feel that he reminds me of a running back from the past that Alabama's had. I would imagine that he's going to be running back number 2. And Nick is asking kind of the question that I'm asking is like, do y'all think that Traylon Washington will be number 2, or do you think that will be Richard Young? I don't know. And I don't think there's a bad outcome from that. I say that. And if, let's say, Traylon Washington emerges as number 2, then you got to watch that back-end free agent window that opens up after spring. Because I thought Richard Young had a really good spring football showcase last year. That's this stupid transfer portal window. If one of these guys balls out, tampering is going to play an issue. Byron, what's up, man? He's saying that Jalen Washington is going to be really good. Can't wait to see him. Short Game is saying, no way you can keep Keelan Russell off the field. It's a bold statement, but watch, he's ready. And Chris from New Jersey, what's up, Chris, is saying, don't sleep on AK. That running back room is nice. I just want to see these running backs get utilized in a creative system, schematically, down in distance, and I'm bought into Ryan Grubb. I think he can do that. I think for whatever reason, Sheridan struggled at times, and I think the reason was you had Jalen Milroe, who needed carries. He had the ability to do things, whether running, passing, but now you take that out. Now you can utilize other weapons on the field. It was just like 4 guys got the ball last year. Milroe and then Williams, Jeremy Bernard, and like Jan Miller. That's it. Running back room is I don't know if it's elite, but it's pretty damn good. All right, we got 233 up on the site. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube, live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Usually I upload. Most of the time I upload these as podcasts as well. But all the news comes right here to Bama Football on YouTube first. All right. Okay. These wide receivers. The wide receiver room, I think this is, as I continue to keep saying, I've hyped up this room. This is like a 10 for me, 10 out of 10. Year 2 of Ryan Williams. Think about that, what I just said. Year 2 of Ryan Williams. Is it his birthday yet? When's his birthday? Isn't it? It's in February. I can't believe we even know this. This dude's about to be 18. Just imagine what he's going to do at 18. Sarah, yeah, I'm watching the Super Bowl for sure. I got the Eagles. I hope the Eagles win. I just don't know if they'll let the Eagles win. Man, Ryan Williams back for year 2. Woof. Crazy. If you played this silly game, NCAA football, you know that year 2 for Ryan Williams is like a touchdown every time he catches it. You also got Jeremy Bernard back. Man, Jeremy Bernard, for whatever reason, gets a little bit over. I think he gets overshadowed because Ryan Williams is so good. Jeremy Bernard is great. Ryan Williams had the best playmaking ability last year, but you could argue that Jeremy Bernard is probably the best wide receiver that Alabama had last year. Jeremy Bernard is really good. I didn't know he was going to be that good. And then think about this. The first look at Isaiah Horton. Man. Oh, February 9th. Thanks. Hey, so it's almost his birthday. That's what's up. I saw on the Next Wave podcast, that the podcast that these guys have, Ryan Williams is dunking on some dude. You know who had a crazy highlight tape, basketball-wise, was Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs was an elite basketball player. That dude had he was like dunking like Sean Kemp. So Isaiah Horton gets added to this mix out of Miami. 6'4", 210 pounds. Players at the Senior Bowl that play with Isaiah Horton were saying that this guy is a matchup problem. So one of the storylines that I'm looking at, the wide receivers, is where do they put Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard, and Ryan Williams on the same field? You know what I'm saying? Like when these guys go out, and let's say that they're the 3 wide receivers that go out. It's a 3 wide receiver set with the tight end and the running back, right? Where do they put Williams, Bernard, and Horton? That's one of the things that I'm watching. And I'm really watching to see who emerges kind of as that slot type wide receiver. Will it be like a Rico Scott? I think Cole Adams should be healthy by now. And then I don't know if Jalen Hell will be 100% right now. And then, of course, the new additions, Latair Brooks and Derek Meadows. I don't have his name listed here, but you also have a player like Bubba Hampton, who I would imagine could be a slot wide receiver as well. A lot of competition at the slot wide receiver. Jalen Mbakwe, and that's one of my biggest questions too, is how do they utilize Jalen Mbakwe, period? Do they use him as a slot, outside receiver? Do they use him on the defensive side of the ball? Does he just kind of play? Is he like our Travis Hunter? That'd be what's up. KTK, I like this. Horton at the Y, Bernard at the X, and Williams at the slot. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that. That sounds absolutely dangerous. KTK is like, oh, KTK might be our wide receiver guru. Rotate Scott, Hell, and Adams. The wide receivers, look at these names. Don't forget about Bubba Hampton, by the way. And I still like Cole Adams. He's good. Tracy, what's up? Tracy says, Williams in the slot to create mismatches. I like that. And then you have Josh Cuevas out there as your tight end, right? Riley pointing out that the Y can be a tight end. Good point out. But I think when you the four receivers most likely to be out there at the same time is Josh Cuevas, Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard, and Ryan Williams. I think that'll be your first set. But those are the things that we're watching. And I guess we haven't mentioned his name right now, talking about the wide receivers in terms of like storylines, but Derek Meadows, right? Like, I just want to see how Derek Meadows looks out there, and maybe if he gets some one-on-one opportunities in some of these spring scrimmages they have. And, of course, Latier Brooks. Maybe he'll make a Sports Center with a catch or two. All right, so a lot of storylines with the wide receivers, clearly. We're excited about the wide receivers. We can't wait to see them in action. Oh, I drew this up. This is fun. More wide receivers. So I put this graphic together, and I'll continue to do this, but in this particular clip or image or whatever, it looks like Alabama was going 4 wide. Now, during the season, they used a tight end. So down here at the bottom in real life, now this is edited, down here they had CJ Dupree. I would imagine that you could put a variety of wide receivers in a 4 wide receiver set, right? And any setup like this is going to be dangerous. I just put Cole Adams or Rico Scott. I mean, put your best wide, I don't know, Jalen Mbakwe up there. Put Jalen Hell on there. Just kind of mix and match. I don't know. It all looks dangerous. It all works. Put your QB one there. Every time I put a quarterback, like with the name, people get all fired up. They think I'm like pulling for someone. I'm pulling for the best quarterback for the job. Tracy points out 4 wide sets for different looks for play action and running the ball. But any way you put that, I like it. You have the wide receivers to do it, 100%. I'm hoping that these guys bring back that ride out mentality. I like the ride out. The whole length thing, people got mad about the length for this and that. But the ride out, I love the ride out. They should start doing merchandise for ride outs. All right. On the offensive line, of course, the biggest storyline is like when the first team runs out there, right, in the small footage that we get to see. Will it be Wilcom Formby? I would imagine it's going to be, right? It has to be Wilcom Formby. It would be like breaking news if it's Michael Carroll that runs out and he's like the first team right tackle. I don't even know if Michael Carroll, like another thing is like Michael Carroll, is he even going to play right tackle or tackle? I think he was playing guard at the IMG Academy, if I'm not mistaken. And Alabama has Caden Proctor, Brailsford, Roberts returning. So how do those guys look in terms of development, health? Roberts, like, is this guy healthy? Poor dude. I think the guy like battled all last year. Jamie say that the officials, the referees, love Kansas City, 100%. Patty Mahomes has even asked who his favorite official was, and he got all hurt, and he didn't want to answer the question. Timothy points out Elijah Pritchett about to turn All-American, just like Seth McLaughlin. So Elijah Pritchett, remember, he transferred to Nebraska. They were like fired up about him. And then they looked at his Pro Football Focus and they were like, but I would imagine he's going to be a starter. But he was a starter here. He left. He could. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes out there and he has an amazing season for Dylan Raiola. You also have Gino Vandermark, Rock Montgomery, Olas Alanen. Those are some offensive linemen kind of in that reserve category. Like, I really like Rock Montgomery's game. I don't know if he'll play guard or center, but I'm watching him. Olas Alanen, I like him. I don't know if he can play tackle. And then we'll get our first opportunity to look at Cam Dewberry, right? Some people have said that he could start. He's a transfer from Texas A&M. And then you have this Arquel Nugum who came in from Ball State. I just want to see these guys in action. Like, where are they from a talent standpoint? Because, look, let's face it. I think sometimes you could just look at a guy and see his playing ability and be like, he's not there yet. And from what we read and what we've heard, Arquel Nugum isn't there yet. But who knows? And then you also got Jackson Lloyd coming in. So that's the offensive line. Look, the offensive line, if these guys can put it together, it would be just shocking that Alabama doesn't have an electric offense. I think this offensive line, like this group right here, if this group can turn up and be better than last year and fix the issues that were glaring, this team will be what we dream about. Bob points out inside the comment box, why is nobody talking about Jackson Lloyd? Super athletic for his size. Yeah, I remember when Alabama was getting him, and there's some videos kind of surfacing of his athletic ability. I saw him like throwing down some nasty dunks. I think he played baseball as well. He was like the first baseman. Maybe he's a dark horse at the right tackle position. Good point out, Bob. I appreciate you being here on the show, bro. Riley Jones inside the comment box is like, I don't give a piss who it is. It's Coach K's job to get them ready to perform. Hell yeah. And big picture wise, I'm with you because this team has to be ready to play specifically outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. This team did not perform to the standard consistently on the road. They played well against Wisconsin on the road, right? But like their 4 losses were outside of Bryant-Denny Stadium, which is concerning to me when you look at their schedule. Defensive line. Overly excited about Tim Keenan coming back. And James Smith. And it's been refreshing every single time we've been talking about. I've been trying to talk up James Smith more and more. I've been really happy with the amount of viewers inside the comment box that have supported my take on James Smith being an elite level player. He didn't get the notoriety last year because he necessarily wasn't like a first team guy. But you guys know him. It's not like I'm bringing this to your attention. And I'm happy about that. You know how talented he is. Very, very good. But my question with the defensive line is, after those 2 guys, is this a vulnerable spot for Alabama? Right? The DT, the nose guard. This first look at Steve Mbua. He's coming in, right? Maybe he will be a guy that can be a quality reserve or kind of like rotate in as a first-team guy. Edric Hill, Isaiah Fega, and then Jeremiah Beeman. I haven't really heard a lot about these guys. And then first look at London Simmons, who's a prospect that Alabama signed in the class of 2025. But I kind of feel, while I like Keenan and Smith coming back, I feel this could be an area where, and this is a hard area to recruit. This is a hard area to work the transfer portal. I feel just after the right tackle position, I wouldn't be upset if Alabama brought in, if one exists, like a really high quality transfer to play D tackle. That's just how I'm feeling. But then again, maybe Edgerkill, Fega, or Beeman is further along in the developmental process, right? This bandit position has a lot of talent. A lot of talent. You have LT Overton. Huge, huge, huge. I can't even believe this guy's coming back. Him and like Damani coming back on the defensive side of the ball. Man. That was surprising to me. I figured Deontay Lawson would come back just because of his unfortunate injury. But having LT creates some interesting storylines as well, because with LT Overton coming back, man, you got to just hope and pray that Keon Keeley gets reps, that he's ready, and that he doesn't hit this back-end transfer portal window. Frustrated that, he's not playing right away. Maybe they'll figure out a way to get these guys a rotation. I don't know. Because you did bring in Kelby Collins right from Florida. I'm telling you, too, this other guy, this Jordan Renaud, he's good, too. Maybe that's kind of another sleep. Like, if you were talking about, like, sleeper guys for this coming year, Jordan Renaud is very good, very capable. Josh, what's up, man? We see you inside the comment box. Keon Keeley on this game, this NCAA football game, was an absolute terror. Him and who else was crazy good? There was a couple guys on defense that were so good on that game for me. All right, the wolf position looks like this. And look at this. So, Jamarian Lathan, he played bandit last year for, 80% of the year. And then they switched him to this edge rusher position, which is interesting because you still have Quay Rusaw coming back, and he's only going to be a redshirt sophomore, and he was like the starter. By the way, he's like the man. He might be the best overall player on the defensive side. I know that sounds crazy. He might be. He's that good. Quay Rusaw is like unbelievable. Nobody knows about him in college football yet. That guy's a hell of a player. And he's just a redshirt sophomore. And then behind him, Yanze Pierre, right? Riley Jones, I go to school where Scott Cochran just got made coach. West Alabama. Dude is absolutely electric. Oh, yeah. Could you imagine having some Scott Cochran energy in the morning? Get your mind right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love to see it. Jay Beg supporting me on that Quay Rusaw. Yeah. And second year for Noah Carter. First look at Devontae Henry. No, it should be Cavante. I need to fix that. Let me fix that real quick. It'll drive me crazy if it's not fixed. I was like, Devontae Henry, who's that? I'm super A-type, so like all my stuff. And, if T's not here, I do most of the graphics by myself, so it doesn't take me long. But I have to get it right. Otherwise, I can't even go forward. Has to be right. If we're going to do this, let's do it right. First look at Cavante Henry and Justin Hill. I don't know. This might be my favorite group of defensive athletes. Look at all these guys. Outside of Jamarian Lathan, who's super athletic because he could play bandit as well. But all these guys, Rusaw, Pierre, Carter, Cavante Henry, Justin Hill, I guess I just like this position. I don't know. This is a very good unit. Injuries happen, things happen, whatever. Like, I think all these guys are capable to have a successful year. What did Jamie say inside the comment box? What's up, Jamie? At first, I wanted to put in Womack, but now I think he's the best assistant coach at Bama. It was interesting how we saw Kane Womack, right? It was like we kind of had a love in. We didn't get off to the best start, and then we ended on a high point with Kane Womack. But I think his approval rating right now is very high. It's probably one of the highest for a defensive coordinator that we've had in some time. Jamie, I almost read your whole quote out on air. Courtney 1988, what's up? See you inside the comment box. All right. Inside backer. This is another so these three guys up at top, when we start the season, these are veteran type linebackers who have a lot of experience. Deontay Lawson, you already know him. He was a captain, suffered an unfortunate injury last year, which prohibited him from going to the NFL draft, but he's back. He's not healthy this spring, so your two starting linebackers for spring right now will be Justin Jefferson and Nakai Hill-Green. Nakai Hill-Green came to Alabama from Michigan, Charlotte, Colorado, and now he's made his final destination as a portal surfer at the University of Alabama. I think he had 82 tackles at Colorado, something like that last year. Feel really good about that position. Underneath that, you lost Justin Okoronkwo, you lost Sterling Dixon, Jeremiah Alexander. There might have been another guy to leave from the inside linebacker room. So we'll get an opportunity to see QB Reese. Don't forget about him in year 2. And new guys like Luke Metz, Daryl Duke Johnson, and Abdul Sanders. I'm not sure if all those guys are already enrolled. I know Luke Metz is and Daryl Duke Johnson. I'm not sure about Abdul Sanders. Abdul Sanders out of California. But either way you slice it, it's after those vets, you have a young inside linebacker room. I think after next season, Alabama is going to have to really recruit inside linebacker and probably have to get a transfer portal guy to this room. That would be my bet when looking at like 2026, but that's way too far out in front. Because Justin Okoronkwo, you wanted him to be that guy. Oh, you know who I'm forgetting on this list is Caden Jones. Caden Jones is really good. Actually, I think he had more tackles than Justin Okoronkwo, if I'm not mistaken. Sammy Dees, what's up? Loving the bottom line graphic. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. I put all this together. I want things to be aesthetically eye-pleasing for you guys, the sound, the audio, all this stuff, my performance. So you guys deserve the best. Every single show is coming from the heart, handcrafted. All right, the corner position. Damani Jackson and Xavier return. Still crazy to me. Think about the anxiety that we had going into last year about the corners. We didn't know who it was going to be. We didn't even know how good Damani Jackson was going to be. Damani Jackson was fantastic. Xavier Brown, well, he grew and he fought and he played well and he made really good plays. He came up with quality interceptions. He got burnt. A freshman playing corner at this level is bananas to me. Patriot Life in with the 20 spot. Appreciate you, man. Good Thursday. That's what's up, Patriot Life. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you, Lisa. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Timothy points out Matter Day prospects. Yo, that Matter Day pipeline, I'm not mad about it at all. I think one of the most interesting things or exciting things that I'm looking forward to is seeing how Alabama utilizes Cam Calhoun and how good he is, right? I've heard that he's really good. He could be the missing link at Alabama, right? Riley points out inside the comment box, he's saying, Kyle, you're way higher on Damani than me. I like these other guys, but Damani will not tackle, and I don't rock with that. You know, I saw Damani come up with a couple big hits. Help me out. Which game was it? Was it the Tennessee game? There was one game that I saw some physicality from him. But in terms of being like an open field tackler, I had to watch a little bit more film on him to give you a better assessment on that. Good. Thanks for bringing that up. But like you know, I want a physical corner. That's why I'm excited about Cam Calhoun. Riley's saying Cam Calhoun's taking that spot. Oof. But don't you think that, let's say you have Cam Calhoun, you have Damani Jackson, and you have Xavier Brown out on the field together, and then you throw on Keon Sabb and Bray Hubbard. Now we're talking about a really good secondary. JK is saying Chiefs all day? Oh man, you can get people mad up in here. Well, I think most of us are rolling with the Eagles. Thank you, B Rob. That was it. It was the Auburn game. Was it the Auburn game? Yeah, I think it was the Auburn game. Lance is saying, refresh my memory. Who is Calhoun? Calhoun is Cam Calhoun, right? He came to Alabama in the transfer portal window from Utah. And I know when everybody thinks about Utah, they think about high quality defense. People are really excited about Cam Calhoun. I think out of all the transfers that Alabama got, I think three that are most likely to start are probably Isaiah Horton, Cam Dewberry, and probably Cam Calhoun, if I had to say. Javion, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Good morning to you. Dejon Lee. Yo, like, this is a 5-star. 6'4"? Right? Anybody a fan of the new song, Turn the TV Off? Mustard! That's what he calls himself, Mustard. And Deshaun Jones, I don't know. I would imagine there's a competition at Husky between Deshaun Jones, Cam Calhoun, Red Morgan. I don't know. And then I don't have Chuck McDonald listed on here because he's getting here in the summertime. At the safety position, first of all, I don't know why I put Red Morgan back with the safeties. I would imagine he's on the other side with the Huskies. So you could scratch that off. And Cam Howard, I haven't heard anything on him. Up at the top, Bray Hubbard, I think he's like a fan favorite. I might have to even buy like a jersey of, I'll buy a hoodie of Bray Hubbard. That might be my next hoodie purchase. And then another year with Keon Tabb, I think is a good thing. Wade's World is asking, do you think that Bray and Sabb will start? Yeah, I do. I think those will be your starting safeties. I would be shocked if those aren't. Not like shocked, I guess. But I'm trying to think who else could be another safety that starts. Maybe Mincy, I guess. He played pretty good against Michigan, as I pointed out yesterday. But Lance is saying Hubbard, Sabb are the safeties. Yeah, I'm a co-sign on that. Who will be the second string under those guys? Mincy, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., right? Peasy inside the comment box is talking to that. You have Ivan Taylor going to push for playing time. I guess we'll see. People have been really excited about him for sure. Pops played in the league, right? Ike Taylor. J2K is just, he's like, who's the starting quarterback? We don't know yet. We would imagine that taking the first team starter reps during the springtime is going to be Ty Simpson, as we talked about earlier in the show. But may the best man win. 1940 also co-signing on Ivan Taylor. Yo, a lot of people are talking up Ivan Taylor. That's good. It's good to see. Maybe he could be a second team guy. I don't know. I'm excited about him. And Melon Jesus inside the comment box pointed out that Zay Mincy looked good in his limited playing time. I thought the same thing. I thought, well, there was the first time that Zay Mincy got onto the football field, he got cooked, and they scored a touchdown on him. Every single freshman that played in the secondary got cooked. But towards the end of the season against Michigan, when Zay Mincy started that game, he played very, very good. Very good. And then the special teams right here. Alabama will have a new kicker. You know what? After the right tackle position, I think this might be my biggest concern for Alabama this coming season. Think about this, okay? You go on the road. It's going to be challenging playing on the road against Georgia, Auburn, South Carolina. There's another tough game where they go on the road. Maybe it's Missouri, whatever it is. Oh, new holder too. Think about a critical part of this team is special teams, okay? Hunter saying that the new punter is really good. I hope so, man, because James Burnap was it. I love this guy. He's my second favorite punter after J.K. Scott. But you're going to have a new kicker, right? I guess Connor Talty. You're going to have a new punter. Is this the young man from the Colorado School of Mines? Or Alex Osperoff? One of the two. And then you're going to have a new snapper and I guess a new holder. So all those 4 elements are going to be new to this coming season. And I think while those guys are capable to be really good, we don't know how they're going to perform on the road in key games. I mean, even Graham Nicholson, the guy was a Lou Groza Award, and I was a little unsure about his play just because coming to the SEC and performing on special teams at that high of a level, it's a different thing. Is Osprov from Moscow? Are we sure about that? I thought he was from California. Is he from Moscow? That would be amazing. Dowd from Colorado. All right. Peasy's still worried about the offensive line. I think the holder will be fine. The snapper, new punter, new kicker. I don't know. But if you're just joining us today, and I'll go back to it because maybe you guys didn't see it, Alabama has officially announced the hiring of offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. Max is saying no on Alex Osperoff being from Moscow. That's why I said he's from California. He's from Moscow. I was like, what? I don't know, man. So this morning, the University of Alabama did its official website announced the hiring. And this is a quote from that article. You can read the full article on UA Athletics. They say, Ryan Grubb has been someone that I have trusted for a long time. And adding him to our staff only improves the quality of coaches we have here at Alabama. I agree with that. He is one of the best offensive minds in the country. I love that. And that's what I was thinking. That's why I was so upset when this guy decided to be the OC with the Seahawks. And I can't wait to see what he brings to our organization moving forward. That's a quote from Coach Kalen DeBoer via the UA Athletics official website. Rocket Town's pointing out this right here is saying that improves the quality of our coaches. Oh, that's a good point out. And then Ryan Grubb had this to say. I'm thankful to get an opportunity to work with Coach Kalen DeBoer once again and be a part of an offensive staff that I am familiar with, said Grubb. I am confident that our staff will be able to put the team in the best position to win each time out. I know and trust this group of coaches and players will work tirelessly to meet the standard that has been set at Alabama, and I can't wait to get on the field with them. And again, if you want to read the whole bio, you can go to the University of Alabama and check it out. But good things, fam. You got Ryan Grubb in, as we talked about, a ton to work with in terms of the spring storylines in this team, right? You got the Super Bowl, you got Alabama basketball and some pivotal games. There's a lot going on, and I appreciate you guys spending time with me every single day during the week, Monday through Friday, or as major news happens. So, did you guys have a good show today? All right. I'm about to go to Jack Brown's for a delicious burger. Who has been to Jack Brown's? That's where we're meeting. And then I'm actually leading a new podcast, too, with our F3 group here in Tuscaloosa. So just dropped a new podcast on that. You can go F3 Tuscaloosa on Instagram. Check it out. Thank you very much for being here. I have a lot of gratitude for you guys spending time with me. Please continue to support all the great content creators out there covering Alabama football and for giving me the opportunity to rap with you guys on this beautiful Thursday, February 6th. Coming to you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Anderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Have a beautiful rest of your day. As news happens, I got you covered right here at Bama Football on YouTube. Check out our Facebook page, Bama Football on YouTube, on Facebook. And these will be uploaded as podcasts later in the day, Spotify and Apple iTunes. All right. See you guys, and